Are you wondering how to level up your reading speed? Maybe you want to crush the SAT and the ACT, or maybe you just want more time to sleep or hang out with friends. We have a super special guest with us today, BARA SAPIR. She has been in the test prep world for over 30 years, and she's a speed reading expert. She's the founder of
City Test Prep and MindFlow,
which is a speed reading platform. And she's been helping students with test prep for over 30 years. And she's going to share with us today, as a speed reading expert, 5 tips on how to speed read.
One, thanks.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming.
It's great to be here. So one is you want to know your reading speed, because if you're reading slower than 300 words per minute, you're going too slow. How do you figure that out? Well, we have a free speed reading assessment on our website, and we'll put those links in the comments. Most people read 150 to 250 words per minute. And that means your teacher, that means the crossing guard, that means people that you come into contact with, even politicians. The second thing is you want to make sure that you totally ignore the big words, the big numbers.
What do you mean skip big words and numbers? Like, what's the problem with big words and numbers? Like, why does that hang people up?
Well, because they snag you, right? They're distractors. You can always go back to the essay to find out what's the relationship of that big word, but really they're there to seduce you into losing time. So you don't want to stay fixated on those words and know that you can always go back.
And the numbers, I guess that's the idea that, like, if I have like 2,347,556 and I read that aloud in my head, I could have just looked at that thing and been like, big number, instead of,
exactly.
Is that the point?
Exactly. You also want to skip words that are the subject of what you're reading about. For example, if there's an essay about Thomas Edison, you know the whole essay is about Thomas Edison. So anytime you see the TH or the Thomas, you can pop over to the next word.
Okay.
The third thing is you want to turn off the voice in your head. Often when we're reading, we actually hear, or some people will hear that voice in their head. You'll hear your own voice reading the thing that you're reading. But if you do an experiment and read something out loud and see how fast you read, you'll find that you actually will read the same or slower when you read and you hear your voice. So you want to eliminate it because you actually don't need to hear it. Like when you see a stop sign, do you hear stop all of a sudden in your head? Probably not. So you want to get rid of the voice. It slows you down.
So that's a great concept, but how do people turn off that voice? Isn't that hard? like, oh yeah, turn off the voice, but it's like haunting me.
Right. Well, the reason that it is haunting you
Yeah.
is because you're not reading fast enough and focusing. So the faster you read, it actually neutralizes the voice in your head, and you're able to move through it a lot more quickly. Your brain is able to do so much. I mean, your brain can actually think up to 4,000 words per minute. So you can bridge that gap by reading faster and getting rid of the voice.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is if you push yourself more, then in time, that voice will just dial down because it can't keep up.
It can't keep up.
Okay.
Exactly. The more quickly you read, it gets rid of that voice, and then you're still taking in the information and comprehending. Number 4 is to know your purpose. You just want to go in, know what you're looking for, and then have the time to answer the questions. When you're taking a standardized test, an admissions test, you know that you're going to have inference questions and assumption questions. And you know, main idea questions, you're going to have to answer detailed questions that go back to the text. The more quickly you go through, you get a layout of the land and know exactly where to go.
Okay, got it. So basically for an SAT, you want to know, 1, the layout of the land, like a passage map. That's what I talked to you guys about in my other videos, right? You want to know main ideas and where to go back to. So that's what we mean by know your purpose. It's not, oh, I'm taking a standardized test. It's, what do I need to know after I read this passage so that I can get questions right, so that I can make my teacher think I'm amazing in our discussion tomorrow, or whatever it is, right?
Exactly.
Cool. So that's what the purpose is like, what do I need out of this reading? But what if I'm in like a humanities lecture in college? What might be my purpose if I'm reading that humanities passage?
Your purpose is going to be, what does the professor usually ask? What does the professor usually come forward with? How are you going to be able to present the main ideas or the relationships or the things that are showing up in that essay or in that book to the professor. There's going to be things that come up and you want to be able to articulate them. The last thing is you want to make it tactile. If you have an animal and a fly comes into the room, your animal is going to watch it. Well, we're the same way. So you want a moving finger, or you want a moving marker, or you want an index card. You want something that is moving so that you can push your eyes to move as fast as possible, and then your mind is going to catch up with that. And you're going to be able to take in more and comprehend more.
So BARA, if people want to learn more about speed reading or how to improve their speed reading, where can they go?
They can go to our website, MindFlowSpeedReading.com. We'll also have the exact link for a free speed reading assessment on the comments.
Thank you so much for joining us again. And just a reminder to all of you guys out there, if you're looking to prep for the ACT or the SAT, you can check out our online self-paced courses that are video-based at SuperTutorTV.com. We have on our paper-based test courses over 100 hours of video prep, and our digital SAT course is going to be dropping this summer. So be sure to subscribe to our mailing list so you can find out when and get in on any deals. SuperTutorTV.com/subscribe. We've got a couple of SAT super seminars coming up. We have writing classes coming up this summer, a digital SAT and digital PSAT group live class also going on this summer with me. Thanks again, BARA, for joining us. We appreciate it.
Great to be here.
Awesome. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.